Yes.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Never mind.
Very well.
I wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
It's
Then I
nothing
suggest
now.
we move on. As you wish.
Okay.
Something on your mind?
Some questions.
Of course. Sure, I could. I could even teach you, I suppose. Anyone who's been trained as a warrior. I guess if I'm going to give up Chantry secrets, I may as well go all the way.
Okay.
Send whoever you want trained to me in camp, and I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Often portrayed as stoic and grim, the Order of Templars was created as the martial arm of the Chantry. Armed with the ability to dispel and resist magic in addition to their formidable combat talents, the Templars are uniquely qualified to act as both a foil for apostates, mages who refuse to submit to the authority of the Circle, and a first line of defense against dark powers of blood mages and abominations. While mages often resent the Templars as symbols of the Chantry's control over magic, the people of Thedas see them as saviors and holy warriors, champions of all that is good, armed with piety enough to protect the world from the ravages of foul magic. In reality, the Chantry's militant arm looks first for skilled warriors with unshakable faith in the Maker, with a flawless moral center as a secondary concern. Yes, you want fanatical warriors. Yes. Templars must carry out their duty with an emotional distance, and the Order of Templar prefers soldiers with religious fervor and absolute loyalty over paragons of virtue, who might question orders when it comes time to make difficult choices. No surprise there. The Templars' power derives from the substance lyrium, a mineral believed to be the raw element of creation. While mages use lyrium in their arcane spells and rituals, Templars ingest the primordial mineral to enhance their abilities to resist and dispel magic. Lyrium use is regulated by the Chantry, but some Templars suffer from lyrium addiction, the effects of which include paranoia, obsession, and dementia. Templars knowingly submit themselves to this treatment in the service of the Order and the Maker. Well, there's something I don't like. That's right, drug addiction. Remember Alistair talking about this too. It is this sense of ruthless piety that most frightens mages when they draw the Templars' attention. When the Templars are sent to eliminate a possible blood mage, there is no reasoning with them. And if the Templars are prepared, the mage's magic is all but useless. Driven by their faith, the Templars are one of the most feared and respected forces in Thedas. From Patterns Within Form by Halden, First Enchanter of Starkhaven, 880 Blessed. Okay.
Yes? Something you need?
I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
You were a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share? Yeah, I would like to hear some stories.
Of course I do.
Great.
I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Okay. Tell me about Darkspawn.
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
The thing is, why is the Maker punishing people who had nothing to do with this? Like, there's just some farmer, he's never bothered anybody. These guys wander along, blight his fields, blight his animals, maybe even blight him. Or, he tosses them into our backyard of the dwarves who never did anything wrong, never did anything to him. Heck, we don't even see dreams when we sleep. So we can't see the golden or black cities. Now Black City. And now we're getting fighting life and death, a horrible struggle against Darkspawn. Maybe he should have come and talked to us first. I mean, if we're all supposed to worship him, maybe he could have talked to us first. Yeah, I don't know about that, Mr. Maker. It still makes me very angry. Do you know any stories from Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais.
That sounds interesting.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own.
Good.
Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Continue, please.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Go on.
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Honestly, after all the bad things that have happened, I really wanted a happy story. After all the serious stuff I read, after all the bad stuff that's happened from Jory and Daveth to the Tire Mage to the Circle Mage to everybody, I wanted a happy story. That's terrible.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Orlais so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death, and to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Well, that's better. It's still too bad. Do you know any Fereldan legends?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Flemeth? Morgan's mother was called Flemeth.
Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend?
Mm-hmm.
Flemeth, the devourer of men?
Oh yeah.
Flemeth, mother of witches?
Definitely.
Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists.
She really didn't introduce herself as such, but it is funny to hear this story after meeting the real Flemeth.
Fereldan mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Tell me the whole story.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Haeva, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
Oh, the plot thickens. I don't think this is what happened with the Flemeth, I know, but you never can tell. I don't think this is what actually happened, but it's still a good story. Ooh, the plot thickens.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasen tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Haeva, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasen men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Well, that's an interesting story. That's almost assuredly not what happened. I think Morgan has a more interesting, honest story to take, but it was still entertaining. I think Morgan's side of this whole story, what she knows from what Flemeth told her, is probably much more accurate. But I still love hearing the stories. And you know what? To get another story?
Which one?
Do you know anything about the Dalish?
I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in the land of their own.
It didn't last.
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens. But others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish.
What do you know about Andraste?
Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become his divine bride. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved, and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies. Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker.
You know, this is another reason to hate her husband, Mathrath. Not just because he killed his buddy Harvard, not just because he killed the Shartan guy, who sounds pretty amazing, but because his wife gave up being with a god for him, and he gets jealous and has her betrayed and burned at the stake. Mathrath is a piece of garbage. How did Andraste die?
Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and
Her
killed
worthless
Andraste.
husband.
Her earthly husband, Mafarath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Mafarath began to see their own bond waning in significance as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Mafarath made a pact with the Archon Hysarian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter.
Why did the Maker not save her with his power?
I have thought on this too. Did he withdraw his sight from her at that moment? Where were all the powers he bestowed upon her?
Yeah.
This question has come to me many times, and I have no answer. Perhaps there was no way for Andraste to return to the Maker but through her death. We will never know for sure.
I don't like this Maker. I like you, Leliana. I like the priestess who blessed me. I like a lot of Chantry, but there's also things about the Chantry I don't like. And I can see that there are things about the Chantry that bothers you too. I like you. That's what matters. Let's just move on. See if she has anything to say to me. Good old Morrigan. I don't know if she's good old, but she's definitely not old.
I await your command.
Something personal.
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Never mind. Okay.
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me.
Let me see your wares, buddy.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Yeah. Got some ideas here. Okay. 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 Don't worry, Stan. We will eventually get you in action, but just not yet. Okay.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do some scouting and skirmishing. Just sort of slowly but surely but gradually build our way up. And essentially take our time. Get some experience, get some better weaponry, get some resources, build allies. I'm going to take a quick stop at Lake Callanhead docks to see if there's anything going on there. I don't think so. Okay.
well.
Let's get some Abari dominance going on. There we go. See if there's anything here.
Good to see you again.
Okay. Not interested in going there to directly engage the mages or anything just yet. Instead, I want to slowly build myself up. Not slowly, build myself up as quick as possible, but build myself up. Let's go. Okay, ready?
Ah, Denerium. If we have time, I would like to look for Marjolaine.
Sure.
We have a score to settle.
Here's what I want to do. Okay, let's go back here. Alright, let's see.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Because if I'm not
It shall be done.
Okay. Crap. Sometimes we make mistakes.
Of all the...
There we go, doggy. Yeah, little doggy. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Yeah. Yeah. Shred. Okay, that's better. Yes, you've developed, dog, but I want everybody in the party.
Damnation.
Blast it.
Indeed.
Yes.
And
Indeed.
go. Is everybody ready? Let's go. All right.
Will you stop eating?
Now we get our hands.
Now. You fuck-nutted bastards. Yep, then you're doing that shit. Okay, ready? Doggy? Make yourself useful.
An order. And every... Like this.
Alright. You know what? Alistair? Yep. Okay. Okay, Alistair.
Go. You should run while you can.
Ready? That's better, Alistair.
Yes.
Alright.
My father did that.
There.
I shall do it.
Poor bastard.
Oh, Alistair, kill him.
Off I go.
That's good, Alistair. Go over there. Let's make sure.
On my way.
I am ready.
Alright, everybody, regroup down here.
Done.
Okay. Ready?
Very well. I see. As you wish.
Ready?
I shall do it.
Alright.
As you like.
So
I
be
shall
it.
do it.
I am ready. As you say.
Okay. Let's go
Shall
that
be
way.
done.
Alright.
About to do battle.
Yeah.
It is begun. Good to go.
On my way.
On
I
it.
shall do it.
On it.
Shall be done. Blast!
Leliana?
Yes. Oh, this should be good. Miss. As you say.
shall be done.
Everybody stand still. Okay. Everybody, get back here. Okay, that went rather quickly.
Yes.
Alright. Always remember, I know what's over
I
here.
shall.
Don't know
Right
what's
away.
over there. Oh, that's bad.
Yes, of course.
Shit. Okay, and I've got that thing right there.
Right away. Yes, of course.
Normally,
I shall do it. Right away.
okay. Now you're probably wondering why I only brought this one person. That's why. Because I didn't want that to blow up on my guys and gals.
Trap right ahead.
That doesn't work. Jesus. Let me try something. Nope. At least we won this fight. Okay, we got ice arrows, that's good. Got that mace to sell, that's good. Okay. Check out this other chest.
On my way.
Nothing there. Well, I can't open it. Okay, so we won this fight, which is nice. You go there. Run around the truck. All right. Overall, that fight went fine. They should build a more defensive power tower, whatever. And they'd hit us at night, too. Okay. I want to do something quick. I wonder... There's more missions on the road. I'll come back, but I want to check and see if there's some more missions on the road. Go to Lothering, see if there's anything else that happens. Nope, nothing. Let's go... I just want to see if anything pops up. Okay, everybody. You know what?
Ahead.
Go this way, right there. Hit him with this. And right for me.
Hand me. As you like.
You know what? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, dog. Out the moon. Yeah. Get rid of that. Oh, come on. Okay, dog. That guy.
Let's make this quick.
Okay.
Hurry. Defend yourself. Excellent. Be defeated.
All right. Okay. One of the things that helped was instead of having them be able to attack me on all sides, and they kind of were able to, was to pull back and minimize as much of that. We're even able to toss in a grenade to help weaken them. Weaken like 4 of them. And some it did more than others, but it was still helpful overall. We really need to beef up Leliana's trap abilities.
As you say.
Trap disarming abilities, I should say.
Here I am.
I wonder. Let's see. Hmm. I wonder. I want to do something. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Where is it? Okay. Ready? Give me that belt. Okay, Alistair. Alright. I hope. Ah, damn. But she still should have it. You know what? Yeah, I know. Yeah. You know what? It's a weak one. It's weak compared to what else, but oh well. Let's see what you can do. Yes. Should have done this earlier. Very foolish of me. I should have done this earlier.
Right ahead. Crap, right ahead.
Make sure. Alright.
What now?
Yep, you're fine, Leliana. Yep, I should have thought of this and done it sooner. Should have done it much sooner. Like in the last fight we had. Silly, foolish me. Check something. Okay. Check this as well. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright, everybody. I'm going to do a full circuit and see if there's any more. Do some more scouting and skirmishing. A full scouting and skirmishing. Because you never can tell. Things are starting to get very agitated with the Darkspawn invasion. The bandits, wild animals, who knows? Maybe they'll even be Darkspawn. Let's see how far there's Darkspawn up here.
I shall.
She's gonna fucking do. Morgan is gonna duel that motherfucker, and we're all gonna run to the fucking side, and we're gonna. All right, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna fucking do. That's what we're gonna fucking do.
I see them.
No, everybody.
Right.
Morgan, see that guy? Morgan. I want you. You fucking bastards. Now. Fuck you. Alright, ready? Kill this. Alright, you fucking bastard. Okay. Yeah. Everybody. Hey, fuckface McGee. You. Ranged. Alright. Good. He's dead. Fire at this one. Fucking hit him again. Kick him.
As you wish.
Alright. Everybody. Boom. Yeah, you do your fucking bullshit. Fuck you, bullshitter. God damn it.
I never liked this part.
So be it.
Fuck you. There. You know what we're gonna do? There.
Yes. Done.
Ready!
Not that one. Not that one.
As you said.
Okay.
Hurry.
Shoot him. Shoot him.
Oh, you a fun one, you got.
Okay. Okay, everybody.
I shall do it.
Yes? Something you need?
What do you know of this place?
Next to nothing, I'm afraid. Perhaps there is little to know about this place, or I simply have not discovered its secrets yet.
Okay. Let's just move on. Alright. Okay.
Trap right ahead.
Okay.
Trap right ahead. On my way. Yes, of course. Trap right ahead.
Very useful. All right, Alistair.
It's done.
Okay. Who am I looking for? Leliana? Okay.
Right away.
Overall, this went really well. Okay. We did use some health poultices, but this was just a difficult situation. Alright. Okay. And how do we do so far in terms of fighting? 39, 106, 98. Let's see about dog, too. 34, 39, 106, 98. Okay. Alright. Let's see what's next. Let's see. Okay, good. Very good. The Templar purges the area of magic, removing all dispellable effects from those nearby. Friendly fire pulse. That's actually really good. I wonder. It does hurt her. But I hope yeah, it's worth it. Yeah, okay. That helps. Killing sheet isn't bad, but okay. Because if he's going to have people beating on him, he's going to need protection. You know what else? Okay. Yeah, Morrigan's not in the best. Okay, she's gonna need it. I know what we'll do to make it up to her eventually. Okay.
All right.
Actually, is there a place over here? Nah. Sure, we'll do it. Okay. We're going to do one more circuit. And then after that...
On it.
See what's going on in Lothering. One last time. If there's nothing here, well then I'll just go back to Denerium. Yeah, I'll just go back to Denerium. We've done our patrolling. Let's do some other things and then we'll eventually come back and do some more patrolling. Okay.
Denerium. If we have time, I would like to look for Marjolaine. We have a score to settle.
We will. Don't worry. We will. We will.
So, you truly do not believe in any sort of higher power?
It has been bothering you, I see. No, I do not. Must I?
What do you believe happens to you after you die, then? Nothing?
I do not go to sit by the Maker's side, if that's what you mean.
Only those who are worthy are brought to the Maker's side. So many other sad souls are left to wander in the void, hopeless and forever lost.
And what evidence of this have you? I see only spirits, no wandering ghosts of wicked disbelievers.
It must be so sad to look forward to nothing. To feel no love and seek no reward in the afterlife.
Yes, the anguish tears at me so. You have seen through me to my sad, sad core.
Now you're simply mocking me.
You notice? It appears your perceptive powers know no bounds.
I don't believe in the Maker or the ancestors of the Paragons either, but I don't want to upset Leliana by telling her, even though that's the truth. It's important for her to believe that, and I'm not going to begrudge her on that, because I know that matters to her. So I'll be supportive of whatever she does and wants to believe in. But in that case, she did get a little sanctimonious, and she did kind of sort of deserve what Morrigan did to her. The Dust Towner had a good point, in my humble opinion. A very good point. There.
Good day. Let us go.
Wait a second. Oh, that's why. Get that ready. So, boom.
Magic exists to serve man and never...
Yeah, he's just going off to do some shopping. And he bought a kid. Betty runs up to you happily. Seems to have found a friend. Where did you get that? Yeah. If he comes with us, he's going to have to fight Darkspawn. I know he's too young. That's my point. Yes, you got to return him.
I was getting to that bar.
Let's see what's going on here.
The one who repents, who has faith unshaken by the darkness of the world, and roasts not, nor gloats over the misfortunes of the weak, but takes delight in the Maker's law and creations.
Boasts. It's boasts, sister, not roasts.
She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next.
Peace, sister, peace. She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction.
The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her...
There's no veal in the chant. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Yes, and I love her for it, Madam Fuss Budget. I like her version of the chant better.
Me too. I wonder why nobody ever taught me her version of the
I
chant
love you,
when I
Alistair.
was
You're
a
awesome.
Templar.
Oh, hello, dear. Can we help you?
What she means is, in Andraste's name, be welcome.
Stop correcting me. What would Andraste do? That's what you should be concerned with, I say. Andraste was no fuss budget.
You're right. Oh, I like you. This is a mother-daughter style fight where I'm actually siding for the mother for once. Normally, no. Based on my experiences, I'm not going to side with the mom. But in this case, okay, mom's all right. What are you doing?
Praying for the good people of Denerium who've lost loved ones at Ostergard. It's usual to recite a stanza from Transfigurations when you pray for the departed.
It's usual to recite the stanza correctly.
That's what I said.
Oh boy, here we go. Tell me about your religion, preacher. Oh boy, here we go. Hours and hours on end. But I might as well try. Can you tell me about the chant? Oh boy, I bet you can.
Tell you about the chant? What? As if it's Well, it's done enough, but a little too much nutmeg for my
Sister, instructing the ignorant is a sacred duty.
Oh, gee, thanks.
fine then.
Thanks
What
so
you want to
much.
know?
It's nice to know that I'm ignorant. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be worshipping Mr. Maker anytime soon. Leliana can. I'm not going to. Does the chant mention dwarves?
Why would it?
Oh, gee.
Hardly appropriate. There's no need to be rude to anyone, even if they are ignorant and godless.
Oh my god! Gee, thanks! Oh, God. Well, I am godless, but I'm not ignorant. Let's be diplomatic. It's in their world with their gods. Yeah, they're still not as bad as the paragons and the ancestors that act like I don't exist. At least these people believe I exist. And they mean well in terms of dealing with me. They're not like, oh, we have no record of you. You never lived. Like back home. But that's not my home. Orzanar is nothing to me. What does the chant say about Darkspawn?
Oh, there are some very stirring canticles about doom and wrath.
Darkspawn were created by mankind's second sin, pride. Arrogance became a great caged beast in the lands of Tevinter, an emptiness that consumed all and could never be filled. To satisfy its hunger, the mage lords assaulted the golden city, heart of all creation, to take the Maker's power for themselves.
Why does no one ever sing the good stanzas during chantry services anymore? They speak something. It's called the chant of light, not the speech of light.
Sister, would you kindly stop messing up the chant?
See how you like being interrupted.
You get the general idea, I'm sure.
I don't know if it's man's pride. I think it's more the Maker got peeved and pissed and dumped them in my backyard. Oh, well. What was that verse you were reciting just now?
It's the 10th stanza from the Transfigurations. Lovely canticle, that one. Oh, you should have heard Brother Caedmon sing it, though.
Oh. You sang it well, I take it.
He had a voice like a bucket full of toads. Revered Mother Boann, bless her heart, always said, if we had more voices like his, the Maker couldn't fail to take note of us.
I bet. What happened to him?
It was tragic, really.
Oh, boy.
Such a surprise.
We don't speak of that.
He died?
He was in charge of the lyrium storehouse. It wasn't...
Oh, no.
He took off all his clothes in the middle of the chant one summer day and ran into the street. And fell into the vat of elderberry wine for the feast and drowned. We were 6 days trying him out for his cremation. He looked like a pickled egg.
Cool. Ah, the perils of chantry life.
Now, where's the fun in belonging to the chantry if you can't proselytize to the heathens?
Gee, thanks. That's better than being ignorant.
Blessings of the Maker and of Andraste, his bride, upon you.
Thank you. That was so nice of you. You were very polite to me.
I am ready.
Let's go.
There's things called pumpkins that they've got.
Those who bring harm without provocation are ready.
That was entertaining. There are times when I like the chantry, even if it can be obnoxious.
The deep dark before dawn's first light seems eternal. But know that the sun always rises.
Back alley justice. Eliminate the criminals preying on innocent folk in Denerium's back alleys. In these dark times, we must work together against the common threat. Sergeant Kylan has brought disturbing news that should anger all righteous people. In our own alleyways, footpads, muggers, and miscreants lie in wait for profit from the chaos of our times. They infect us like the plague. A reward is available for any information on these lowlives. Sergeant Kylan has also offered a heavy purse for any brave souls that can best these brigands and make Denham a safe place once again. This humble chanter has added to the reward as well. May the Maker bless all who heed this call. Missing in action. Recently our hearts were lifted when many survivors of the Battle of Ostagar returned to us. Maker bless these men and women and have mercy on those who fell defending our children from the Blight. Sadly, one of those heroes has gone missing. Rexel served in Terran Logain's vanguard with distinction. Upon his return... Oh, this is interesting. Oh, he did. Yeah, he's some hero. Upon his return, his wife said he was prone to quiet reflection and frequented local taverns. One afternoon, he left home and never returned. Prone to quiet reflection. Used to work for Terran Logain. I wonder why. Maybe he kind of figured out what actually happened. This chanter was moved by the family's grief and is offering a pouch of coin for anyone who finds this hero. The chant says, I'm saving one man, you save us all. For if each of us lends a hand to aid his neighbor, anything is possible, especially now. It might be interesting to see what he has to say. Maybe we can use him as a witness against Terran Logain. You know, he can testify against Logain, help to prove what actually happened. Master Fazil of the esteemed Guild of Free Sailors has informed this chanter that while about guild business, he was waylaid by bandits via guile and other chicanery. He lost many valuables, but in particular an antique sextant was removed forcibly from his person. This sextant is of considerable value, as it belonged to the first guild master of the Free Sailors. Wow! Master Fazil described his assailants as masked, of foreign descent, perhaps Tevinter or free marches, and unusually coordinated and crafty. He has placed a hefty sum of coin with this chanter for the return of his sextant. That is all. Logain's push. Brothers and sisters, word has arrived of an imminent conflict. Terran Logain's honored force. They're not honored. Continue to root out threats to our nation. No, they don't. They tend to undermine the nation. And their actions deserve... They don't deserve support. They deserve condemnation and opprobrium from the common people. While it is unusual to post troop movements to the public board, I believe it is necessary for brethren near the effective area to respect the honored Terran, piss on the traitorous Terran by aiding his troops, provide whatever attacks you feel they deserve, slings and arrows they deserve, and Fereldan will be stronger for it if you provide slings and arrows. Treat these enemy soldiers as you would treat Logain himself, and the spiritual rewards will be generous. Brother Nigel. Sister Rada has heard reports of an imminent tragedy. A rudder has brought me dire news of a group of refugees fleeing the dark spot. Uh-oh. Yeah, if they're from Lothering, they're taking way too long to get out of that town. They have been cornered in unfamiliar ground, fighting for their lives. The Templars are necessarily occupied. This does sound like Lothering, and my own means are few and stretched. If someone of skill has the ability to deliver these people, I can only offer the oddest gratitude of myself and of the chantry. Hopefully that will be enough for the rare person we need. I'll do it for what I can, but they really got to get out of Lothering. Skid Deep. A rudder set this request from Knight Commander Thames. While the reports I have heard no doubt suffer from exaggeration, the observed creatures assaulting Redcliffe trouble me greatly. If we are to properly combat these unnatural agents and prevent their reoccurrence, the mages bound to my service will require carefully prepared samples of flesh for study. Thereafter, should a deployment occur, we will be well briefed. If there are skilled warriors present, I would have them gather samples from any remaining creatures as close to the presumed source as possible. The Chantry will reward this basic assistance with spiritual acknowledgement. If the request is exceeded, gold will be added, but the offer is limited. Okay. Let's see. The Chant of Light, the Blight. No matter their power or their triumphs, the mage lords of Tevinter were men, and doomed to die. Then a voice whispered within their hearts, shall you surrender your power to time like the beasts of the fields? You are the lords of the earth. Go forth to claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods. In secret they worked, magic upon magic, all their power and all their vanity. They turned against the veil, until at last it gave way. Above them a river of light. Before them, the throne of heaven, waiting. Beneath their feet, the footprints of the Maker, and all around them echoed a vast silence. But when they took a single step toward the empty throne, a great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth. And so is the golden city blackened, with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven, and doom upon all the world. Violently were they cast down, for no mortal may walk bodily in the realm of dreams, bearing the mark of their crime, bodies so made and distorted that none should see them and know them for men. Deep into the earth they fled, away from the light. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer, the sleeping dragon Dumat. Their taint twisted the sleeping god Dumat. Their taint twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last, in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world. The first blight, from Theridanes. The chant of light redemption. The chant of light redemption. Many are those who wander in sin, despairing that they are lost forever. But the one who repents, who has faith unshaken by the darkness of the world, and boasts not nor gloats over the misfortunes of the weak, but takes delight in the Maker's law and creations, she shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next. For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her water. As the moth sees light and goes toward flame, she should see fire and go towards light. No, because when a moth goes toward the light, it burns and dies. So why would you go toward the fire? So when you go toward the light, if you see it as fire? The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her sword. I mean, I don't think this is just referring to Andraste. And even then, I don't think Andraste was supposed to actually die. And if she was, why? So, no, as a person, I do not want to go toward the light like a moth toward a flame, because I don't want to burn and die. And why is Andraste? Is it really necessary for Andraste to supposed to do it, if that is who this refers to?
One world, one life, one day. There is but one God.
In the name of Andraste, bride of the Maker, be welcome in this house. While the cathedral is closed, if you need to make wedding or funeral arrangements, you'll have to talk to Sister Olma.
Did someone die? I remember a funeral.
King Kalen died, remember? Along with most of the army at Ostagar? Maker guide them all.
Why is the cathedral closed?
That which you fear, living in the shadow of death alone, I have seen it is only a cloud passing before the sun.
The death toll at Ostagar was staggering. We've had a funeral every day for a lost son or daughter of Denerium, and we've many more yet to hold.
What's wrong with your Fred?
Are they singing the chant now? It's a
Oh, is this what Lyrium does?
He should have retired to Valroyo years ago, but he wanted to stay and serve the remainder of his days in his homeland. It's the Lyrium that does
That's
this.
terrible. Lyrium did this to him? Why doesn't he stop taking it?
He wouldn't be a Templar anymore.
Oh.
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter.
Poor
He
man.
doesn't forget who he is, even if he can't remember anything else.
The poor man. These are things that... Yeah, this is a bad side to the Chantry. This is the part of the Chantry I don't like. Got mixed feelings. I'll come back later.
May the light of the Maker guide your steps.
Yeah, this is wrong. There should be some sort of reform or effort to fix this.
As there is but one world, one life, one death, there is but one God, and He is our Maker. They are sinners who have given their love to false gods.
Good to see you again.
While they tend to be careful and judicious in their use of force, the Templars do indeed make mistakes. I understand that several relatives of our friends among the collective will soon become targets of the Chantry, and while I trust that this will not lead to lasting harm for those innocents, I wish to ensure that those targeted are fairly warned and evacuated before the Chantry can send its message. Good idea. I ask that a noble soul take the bundle of vials attached to this missive and find the 4 homes the Chantry is likely to target in Denerium. Mark the front door of each home with the goat's blood from the vials. Those relatives will understand the message and evacuate before the Chantry can threaten them. Okay. Have you seen me? The collective is saddened at the absence of the great mage Renaud. Our friend has not been seen in quite some time, and our gatherings are the lesser for the loss of his tales of ribald exploits and the aroma of his delicious twice-baked meat pies. Wow, I want to try one of those pies! The collective is saddened at the absence of the great mage Renaud. I would like to hear some of his tales of ribald exploits, too, and definitely try those meat pies. Renaud was last seen traveling in the direction of the Bassane Forest. Oh, how he did so love the outdoors. Anyone who returns with evidence of the whereabouts of the beloved mage Renaud will be rewarded. I hope Renaud is okay. I want to try some of his meat pies and listen to some of his naughty stories. That'll be fun. The Scrolls of Badastor. In times such as these, one must suspect even his neighbor of the darkest dealings, lest they cast a shadow upon those who labor under the light. I, Jubasto, have heard tell of a cabal of Maleficara performing rituals in the dark near my sanctum, and I certainly wish to see them brought to justice for their dark deeds. I hesitate, however, to accuse them of foul sorcery without a full understanding of the trappings, ritual, and appearance the dark magic requires. The writings of the hated Maleficara Badastor should be suitable. Should a courier be available to procure me copies of the Scrolls of Badastor, I would be appropriately grateful. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Leave me to my business.
Okay.
Should go out to the dwarves. They're safe from all these darkspawn, I bet. Living underground, that's the way
You
to go.
dumbass.
They won't let you in. You'd be out of luck at their door, holding out your hat. Bastard greedy dwarves.
Fuck you. You stupid bastards. You wouldn't last 2 seconds down there with the dark spot. We fight them all the time. Don't believe the lies. Friends of the Grey Warden assemble. That's nice. Continue. The hidden pearl holds the key to resistance. The griffins will rise again. Okay. The hidden pearl holds the key. The pearl. One of Denerium's fancy pearl. So, the hidden pearl holds the key. Check it one more time. Don't believe the lies. Friends of Grey Warden assemble. The hidden pearl holds the key to resistance. The griffins will rise again. Okay. Okay. Let's keep... There. That reminds me of Dust Town, the poor elves. So some things don't change.
What can we do?
I recognize you. From Ostagar. And trust his blood. You're a Grey Warden. Duncan's apprentice. You killed my friend.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't, you
satisfaction,
idiot.
sir.
Me, a Grey Warden? You must be mistaken.
Pardon me, sir. You must think I'm a fool. You really do look like... too much ale. Yes, too much. Excuse me.
Yeah, definitely too much help. And you are a fool.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts.
Hey!
Direct from Orzammar.
One of the great things about talking to a dwarven merchant up here is that it's so different from talking to a dwarven merchant in Orzammar, where you're lucky if you can even go up there to buy anything.
Welcome, welcome. We sell only the strongest dwarven steel, folded over 100 times in the forges of Orzammar.
Yes.
And better suited to your hand than anything else you could find in this city.
Uh-huh. I'd rather buy information if you got anything to sell.
I'll answer what I can, but my policy is not to sell things that don't belong to me.
Who are some important people in Denerium?
It's the capital of Fereldan, so
Yeah.
naturally the Queen and Regent are at the top. But the man who seems to be running the city guard is the new Arl Rendon Howe. Came in from somewhere up north.
What's happening in the city right now?
The Landsmeet's the big news. Every dusty noble estate in Denerium is airing its sheets, waiting for the Lord to ride into town.
Let me see what's in your store now.
Every piece comes with a stamp of assurance from my wife's father, the best smith in Denerium.
Oh, come on. Everybody from Orzammar claims to be the best smith in Denerium. Everybody says that. Don't even start with me. Oh, every dwarf will tell you that they're the best smith in Denerium if that's what they do.
Welcome back. Is there something else you'd like to look at? Only the finest crafts, straight from Orzammar.
Not interested, thanks.
Anytime, my friend.
But it's nice to be treated pleasantly by a merchant. It's such a rewarding and enjoyable experience.
What is it? I have work to do.
Never mind.
All right.
Yeah, you seem to be doing a lot of work just standing there. Hello, Lysel.
Good day. The market is busy, is it not?
Yes.
Come, rest here. I have the finest selection of flowers and Orlesian scented oils in all of Denerium. For you, perhaps? The oils are very relaxing in baths, no?
Maybe Leliana would like these too. or just to be innocent, yeah. What's there to see in the market?
Much of the city is still a mystery to me, but the markets is like my home. Circle and sorcered objects can be found in the wonders of Thedas, in the alleyway north. The armorer, Wade, and his emporium are just to the south. If you need work, outside the rectory to the southeast is a chanter's board. And if your thirst is strong, head to the Nord Noble Tavern north of here. Be prepared, though. They do put on many airs.
Oh, well, yeah. Where are you from?
I am from Orlais. You've heard of us, no? This Denerium is a fine city, but I miss my Valroyo. She's quite beautiful this time of year.
Leliana has said this as well. Tell me about Valroyo.
What I miss most are the clothes. The avenue of flowers this time of year has so many colors. And the skirts. Fine wools, cloths. Many only the noble-born can afford. Fereldan is more muted. Its fashion's quite old. But I like the people of this city very much.
That's very similar to what Leliana says about the situation. Why did you leave?
Orlais has many, many good things. But it is sometimes not so good to be common. My brother had trouble with a chevalier and we departed shortly after.
I know what they are, but I'd like to hear your opinion of them. What's a chevalier?
You know so little of Orlais here. The chevaliers are knights of the highest order. They are the most skilled in the world. Their discipline, formidable. For their service, they're allowed privileges.
Oh, no.
They can do whatever they want to the lesser born.
Oh, yeah. Why do people put up with them? I know what this is.
Because there is little choice.
Yeah.
There are so many wonderful things about Orlais, but Fereldan has something precious. Here, a man or a woman is born free and lives free. I do not understand it, but the nobles here are not so high, and none of us are quite so low. As much as I miss my Valroyo, I love where I am.
Well, I'm happy you're at a place you like. I have an idea, but let's see if it's confirmed. What sort of trouble did you... You didn't create any trouble. The Chevalier did.
Chevalier took an interest in me.
Yeah.
It was his right.
No, it wasn't.
It was unwelcome.
Yeah, it wasn't his right.
Incensed, my brother hit him over the head with a pot.
Good.
Such a thing is almost treason.
Mm-hmm.
We left that very night and came here.
Those beasts are allowed to rape women?
That and more.
Ew.
Some revere them for their skill and their high service, but others tread lightly. As lightly as the mouse in the cat's den. If you will excuse me...
I'm sorry, Lizelle.
I feel a touch lightheaded.
I apologize. I didn't mean to upset you. I'm sorry, Lizelle. That's terrible. They are kind of sort of similar. Oh, not that similar.
If you have coin, welcome to our shop. If not, move along. Too many refugees blocking customers.
Well, he's practical and pragmatic. Know anything special about Denerium?
Better trade cities to the north, but plenty good trade here.
Okay.
Now with war and blight, business is bad.
Anything for sale?
Oh, yes.
Another visitor, Mason. Enjoy browsing my wares.
Hello, Ignacio. Who are you?
Master Trader Ignacio, at your service, good sir. My cousin and I have trade connections all along the seaways. We have furniture, silks, carvings, and much more. Caesar handles the trade stock. I handle other affairs.
You aren't from Fereldan, are you?
No, I am not. I am a trader at heart. My home is the road. But I was born past the waking sea in Antiva. It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was.
I can relate to that. I've enjoyed my life in camp and traveling a lot more than living in crappy old dust town and crappy old Ozamar. I understand exactly what you mean. But I still want to hear what you have, hear your story, and see how similar it is to mine, or different.
On the docks of Rialto, life is cheap.
Yep.
As cheap as the dockside ale and the soiled horse.
Yep.
You can live a longer life out here. And a wise man can make a comfortable fortune in time.
Yep. Replace the dock in the sea with lava and living in a suffocating claustrophobic mountain, and it's the same story. Dust Town is the same story as Rialto. I can relate. With the blight, though, Fereldan isn't exactly safe either.
Straightforward, predictable danger is refreshing to me. Any moment in Rialto, the streets can run red, and...
Yeah. I know.
take Darkspawn any day. At least you can see them coming.
Fair enough. Do you need any help?
No. Not yet. Perhaps one day.
Okay. What stories do you have of Antiva?
It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was.
Goodbye. I agree with you. Same thing here relative to Dust Town and
Not
Orzabar.
be to you, Warden.
Yeah.
Your wish?
Okay.
You here to report another crime? I swear we should just cordon off the entire district. Oh, can I help you, Warden?
How do you know who I am?
Your likeness was passed around to the senior guardsman at the palace. I must say, the sketch didn't do you much justice. But don't worry, even if I believed the official story of what happened at Ostagar, I'm no fool. If I asked my men to apprehend you, they'd all run and cry big sobby tears in their courtesans' bosoms and leave me all alone to be skewered. Don't disturb the peace in the market, and that's well enough for me.
Well, I'm glad that you're not coming after me. Is the market district really that bad?
The lower market isn't deemed important by the captain of the guard, even less with Al Howe in charge.
Oh.
So when I finally get the new men I request, I get the delightful surprise of discovering their Lord Such-and-Such's illegitimate, untrained, moronic whelps.
Ouch.
But lords keep sending me more of them. It's decent pay, no expectations, a uniform.
Oh.
So I have a legion of bastards to protect the market from pickpockets, stabbings, and whatnot. And Al Howe's specially picked men are the worst of the lot.
How are they worse?
With the bastards, I just have to worry about dicing the odd bit of drool or yelling at them too loudly and hurting their poor feelings, and then getting chewed out by their noble fathers. And I swear, the Arl's men are more criminal than the miscreants we occasionally arrest. Some of them are the criminals we have to arrest. So if your lifeblood isn't draining in the gutters as we speak, don't bother reporting it.
Ouch. Actually, do you need any help?
What? You're serious?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I could use help. I've got a pretty popular establishment that's crawling with mercenaries. If I send my boys in, someone might get, maker forbid, hurt, and I'll have to explain to their noble fathers that being a guard is actually dangerous.
What do you need me to do?
The name of the whorehouse is the Pearl. Beat down any mercenaries that are out of line and send them a message. I said beat down, not kill. Let me make that really clear. Not on fire, or exploded, or make a nose, whatever type of grisly death you can dream up.
Okay.
Sorry. Used to giving orders to my boys. Just leave them breathing and I'll be happy.
Okay. Sign me up, Sergeant.
Thank you, Warden. Happy hunting.
Thanks. Okay. Oh.
Welcome, friends. Welcome to Wade's Emporium. We have the finest armors in Denerium, maybe in all of Fereldan. How may we assist you?
Tell me about Wade.
You're obviously not from around here. Wade is possibly the most brilliant armorsmith in all of Fereldan.
That's not true, Herin. The dwarves of Orzammar make the finest armors around.
Thanks.
These piles of rust droppings you forced me to make are worthless compared to their work. You never let me have the time, the materials to make something special.
I like this guy.
Customers expect their armor in a timely fashion, not years late like the last time.
That happened once, just once, and you never let it drop.
Smiths of my people pass work over generations, centuries, and it is a strength.
Centuries? You hear that, you young mutt? Centuries? What's an extra year here and there to make something wonderful?
Thank you, dwarf. Your fine point has made my life so much richer.
Whoops, sorry about that. Could you tell me about the city? Let's try to be pleasant.
The city is full to bursting. With people from the country coming, trade is thriving. Especially those that deal in weapons and armor. Master Wade is especially in demand.
Let me see what you have for sale.
Certainly.
Okay. Alright. We might come back. Actually.
I'll do it.
Oh, good. We got Worthbow and... Okay.
You know, I've heard about the Orlesian bards.
Who hasn't? They are quite famous after all.
The stories I heard were a little racier. It had to do with how a bard assassinated her target. How they were lulled into complacency.
If those stories were true, who would ever agree to entertain a bard in their court?
Oh, I don't know. There's a certain allure to danger, isn't there? And besides, you couldn't all be assassins, could you? I'd take my chances. If the stories were true, that is.
We had rules about that sort of thing. Strict rules.
Such as? You're not going to tell me, are you?
Let's just say I had plenty of reasons to join the Chantry, shall we? And leave it at that.
Oh, my brother-in-law. Brother-in-law. Brother-in-law and Leliana. I don't care about any of that past. I just care about the Leliana I know now. And Alistair, stop teasing my Leliana. Okay? Don't make her talk about things she doesn't want to. Okay. Oh. Oh, so here's one of the places we put the blood down.
As you say.
Okay.
Hello there, Warden. I'm a friend.
Hello, Slim.
I heard you're putting up the good fight against Loghain and Hal, right? Good for you. Make us spit on all those arrogant noble bastards.
Thank you.
I've also heard you have certain skills. Skills of the street, you might say. No judgments here, mate.
Yes.
I want to help you.
Thanks. Who are you? What did the nobles do to you?
Besides feasting and holding revels while my family starves.
Yeah, I
why,
get it.
Not much.
110%.
In fact, they're beautiful, kind. Callous, wretched, depraved, and maker-cursed, self-centered bastards.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
I like that.
They just need taking down a rung or two.
Or 10. Knock them all the way down the ladder. Who are you?
The name is Slim Coudry, and if you've heard of me, I've been doing a sad job of it, haven't I? I hear a great many things, and for those who view certain pesky laws as mere nuisances, there's some ripe fruit to be plucked out there. I can point the way. All I ask is for a little slice for myself.
Okay. Now, what will you do with your cut?
My share goes to a good cause. The poor. My family. I've got 15 cousins.
Okay.
15. Can you imagine? My uncle must walk around with a permanent bulge. It's disturbing, that is.
Okay. Well, I didn't need to know that, but alright. Tell me more, I'm interested. And again, I didn't really need to know that.
Well, one of my mates noticed your skills. Nice piece of work, that uncommon caliber, if you don't mind me saying.
Thank you.
But I need to know what else you can do. Ever done bump and grabs? Do much blending in shadows? Different opportunities for different folk, you know.
I know that Leliana can do this. I want to know about it all.
Oh, you're multi-talented, are you? Don't get much of that in these parts. Since the guard will hang or skewer you if you get caught, it makes advancement dicey. Now that we have that settled, just ask away. One point. I don't like blood much.
Good for you.
Old-fashioned, but the Maker says thou shalt not strangle, decapitate or whatnot unless the other fellow really had it coming, eh? I realise sometimes you do what you have to, but restrained, right? So, what are you interested in?
This is much better than when I was doing stuff for Barat. I like this guy instantly a lot more. He has much more of an attitude. He doesn't want to become a noble. He realizes they're garbage. He doesn't want me to kill people, so I don't have to break legs or intimidate people or threaten to kill them or anything. This is much, much, much better. So much better. You have a mark for me?
I've got one. Should be easy pickings. 50 silver.
Oh, okay. Tell me about it.
A lady's maid is in the marketplace. She's wearing bright green. Should be easy to spot. She's got a purse with some of her mistress's ill-gotten gems.
Okay.
Just relieve her of her purse, and then we both come out ahead. Good luck, Warden.
Okay. Mother-in-law. Okay. Still the purse of gems from Lady's Maid. I hope she doesn't get into too much trouble. And if she does, hope she's a bad person. She's probably not a bad person, but I hope she doesn't get into too much trouble.
You're back, eh? One lady's maid groped and pilfered.
Okay.
At least that's how I'd like to imagine it happened. You want something else?
You have a mark for me?
I got one. Better than the last. 1 sovereign.
Okay.
I thought you might like this one. Sir Nancine has a fancy and expensive sword. Paid for courtesy of her oppressive taxes on her lands.
Oh.
She's going to be at the wonders of Thedas soon. No doubt figuring new ways to kick her peasants where it hurts.
Ouch.
This swipe will be tougher. She's got good eyes, and stealing a sword from a scabbard isn't easy. If you can blend in shadows, that might help.
Okay.
Good hunting to you, Warden.
While we're at it...
You're back, eh? No luck yet, eh? Keep trying.
Know of any good places to break in?
I've got a place for you. Should be easy money for you. It'll cost 1 sovereign, though.
Okay.
Lady Sophie is an intimate of Al Hal. Real intimate.
Ah.
She's visiting the country, because that's what rich
Yep.
folk do when the whole bloody kingdom's in danger. Sorry, they just get me so angry.
Me too.
Her room in the Nord Noble Tavern is unattended. That means her valuables are just there for the taking. You've got the tavern staff to worry about. Plus, she has hired a guard. A very overworked, tired, and bored guard, though. Just be careful, and you should be fine. Good luck.
Okay, thanks. What's this? That's nice. We got another health poultice.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar. Won't find better.
Go here first.
This is where the nobility comes to get drunk. Something on your mind?
Whoops. Okay. A collection of embarrassing personal communications between the spoiled wealthy and their objects of obsession. I already read about Virginia Trueroy. To one's paramour, when last we embraced, one noticed the redolence of another's company, but one was unmindful. His most eminent Sir Feather Hapsmith Oswald III. Politics of Fereldan. To our neighbors, Fereldan seems utterly chaotic. Unlike other monarchies, power does not descend from our throne. Rather, it rises from the support of the freeholders. That's better than what we do in Orzammar, and that's better than the absolute monarchies that they have in Orlais. It could be even more equitable, but that's better. Because there, it's in Orzammar, it's the elections are essentially restricted to just the nobility, like 80 families. So that's good. Each freehold chooses the ban or Arl to whom it pays allegiance. Okay. Typically, this choice is based on proximity of the freehold to the lord's castle, as it's worthless to pay for the upkeep of soldiers who will arrive at your land too late to defend it. Yeah. For the most part, each generation of freeholders casts its lot with the same ban as their fathers did, but things can and do change. No formal oaths are sworn, and it is not unheard of, especially in the prickly central Banon, for bands to court freeholders away from their neighbors, a practice which inevitably begets feuds that last for years. Terrans arose from amongst the bands, war leaders who in antiquity had grown powerful enough to move other bands to swear fealty to them. There were many Terrans in the days before King Calenhead, but he succeeded in whittling them down to only 2. Gweren in the south, Highever in the north. These Terrans still hold the oaths of bands and Arls, who they may call upon in the event of war or disaster, and similarly, the Terrans still hold responsibility for defending those sworn to them. The Arls were established by the Terrans, giving command of strategic fortresses that could not be overseen by the Terrans themselves. Unlike the Terrans, the Arls have no bands sworn to them, and are simply somewhat more prestigious bands. The king is, in essence, the most powerful of the Terrans, although Denerium was originally the 10 year of the king. It has since been reduced to an Arling, as the king's domain is now all of Fereldan. But even the king's power must come from the bands. Nowhere is this more evident than during the Landsmeet, an annual council for which all the nobles of Fereldan gather, held for almost 3,000 years except odd interruptions during blights and invasions. The sight of a king asking for and working to win the support of lesser men is a source of constant wonder to foreign ambassadors. From Fereldan, Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. Well, that's actually good. That's a good thing about Fereldan, that they've decentralized power in that manner, but they still have a central leader. That power is shared and there's a balance there. That's good. That's very positive. It also explains a lot about what's going on.
Huh? What can I get you, stranger?
May need any help? Maybe with something not strictly legal? He glances around for prying eyes and puts two notes on behalf of interested parties. Continue. Oh, R has a small request. It's always useful to have a big name in your pocket, and there's nothing better than snagging them with their knickers down. Yeah, that's true. If in travels wide, someone were to come across notes between illicit lovers, I have certain specialists who can make the most of the text. Delivered to the bartender, and an investment toward future manipulations will be handsomely paid. Okay. Solving problems. D requires swift action. I have trouble. A few of my more excitable young associates got a little nervous during a couple of delicate handovers. Suffice to say, a little mess needs attention. Life is normally cheap, but if word of this gets out, there will be consequences. My men are under close watch, so I will be most grateful for someone willing to take care of this. Coin is assured. Okay. After solving problems, we have negotiation aids. Negotiation aids. K requests the following. The troubles of the new blood seem to find me. I've ruffled some feathers with my alternative tactics, and certain people have had me blacklisted by my primary suppliers. So I put this out there to those enterprising friends who want an ally and perhaps a little coin. 15 toxin extract samples will be more than enough to ensure I can continue building support. Simple, isn't it? Okay.
I will never get over how quietly you are able to move.
It took me years and years to learn, and even then I'm not the best at it.
So you didn't sneak around when spying?
We all had different ways of doing things. Some preferred not to be seen at all, to cloak themselves in shadow and darkness. I realized that it is not such a bad thing to be seen, as long as you do not stand out and are quickly forgotten.
She's so smart.
I specialize in blending in, not drawing attention and looking like I had every right to be there. It is invisibility, but of another kind.
Yes.
Yes. But I heard you often seduce your targets.
Ancestors.
Not if they died.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dying while in the company of a lovely seductress. Tell me that isn't a good death.
I don't know if I should take you seriously. But you scare me sometimes.
You deserve it for that, Alistair. Don't be prying into that. I don't appreciate it. Don't be prying into her history. That's for me to figure out and learn about. Because she's with me. But she can talk to anyone she wants, do whatever she wants. I'm not going to try to control her and be ridiculously jealous. It's not about jealousy. I just don't want you to make her uncomfortable. She can do whatever she wants, talks about whatever she wants, and she can clearly handle herself perfectly fine. So, she does what she wants to do. Callan Had's legend, I just don't want her to do things that she doesn't want to. Callan Had's legend tells that Lady Shyna harbored a love for a king that went beyond friendship. A love that she had kept secret out of a sense of duty and honor. When offered a love potion by a witch in disguise, a witch would later turn out to be the vengeance-seeking sister of Arl Simeon, Lady Shyna gave in to temptation. She used the potion on Callan Had, but Queen Marian discovered the two of them together that night, and broken-hearted, fled. Denerium to return to her father. She told Meriden everything, and he angrily threatened to revoke his support of Callan Had and begin anew the Civil War. It is said that Lady Shyna felt remorseful at her manipulation of her best friend's heart, and confessed her use of forbidden magic to the court. Although her life was forfeit, Callan Had forgave Lady Shyna for what she had done and refused to have her executed. Meriden furiously roused the other earls against Callan Had and Lady Shyna. It was not long before Fereldan stood on the brink of civil war once again. This story is not going to end well, and I really don't want it. I've seen so many people die recently in so many terrible, tragic events. I don't want to read about more tragedy and be reminded of it. Against Callan Had's orders, Lady Shyna went alone to Marian to plead for peace and plead her case, only to be found out by Meriden and slain, of course. Alright, it's already gone bad. Angered but also saddened, Callan Had challenged Meriden to an honor duel, a fight neither of them wanted, but both knew was necessary, and Meriden was slain. The death of the king's... I hope that the sister of Arl Simeon gets beaten down and punished. The death of the king's greatest ally, an important Arl, was too much for the young kingdom to bear. The other Arls would not back down in their claims against Calenhad. The threat of civil war rose once again. Calenhad went to his wife one last time then, although none knew what was said to her, and then he simply vanished. He left with Marin a proclamation abdicating his throne in favor of the son his queen had carried in her belly. Who eventually ascended to the throne as King Wayland I, the king credited with establishing the Theron dynasty, credited lasting to this day. Calenhad would never reappear. The legend of Calenhad himself only grew over time, as stories and sightings multiplied, even long after the point when Calenhad could possibly still be alive. Some say he disappeared into the Kukari wilds, or went to live with the dwarves, or even became a monk in a reclusive chantry order. The chantry named Calenhad one of the Anointed in 788 Storm. Calenhad's sword, Nemitos, was left with Marianne and became a symbol of Fereldan kingship over the next century. Rumors of its magical powers grew, and when it was lost in the ambush that killed King Venendrin in 824 Blessed, it was seen as a great blow to the Theron line. Several false swords have appeared since that time, but never has the true sword resurfaced. From the Legend of Calenhad by Brother Heron, Chantry Scribe, 810 Blessed. That was kind of a sad story.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay, I went to the wrong one.
On my way.
Ravine. First. Okay.
On my way.
Okay. Well, this is nice. And then there's that. Okay. Let's make sure we got everything. Okay.
Dwarven
First.
Direct from Orzum.
Let's read about Ravine. Ravine. Nowhere in my travels, not in the heart of the Imperium nor the streets of Orzammar, have I felt so much an outsider as in Ravine. The chant of light never truly reached the ears of these people. The years they spent under the thumb of the Kunari left most of the country's zealous followers of the Kuhn. Well, maybe they weren't under the thumb then. Maybe they were happy to be Kuhn followers. There's things about it that I don't really understand and that I don't really like, but I do admire Stan, and I am getting used to him. So if they like it and they want it, then it's fine. But resistance to the chant grows deeper than the Kunari War. The Ravani refuse to be parted from their seers. Wise women who are in fact hedge mages, communicating with spirits and actually allowing themselves to become possessed. The chantry prohibition against such magical practices violates millennia of local tradition. Well, I would side with them if it's regulated and it's not like demonic possession at all. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genitivi. I mean, if they're basically like some sort of communication or communing between the human and the spirit, then I don't see the problem with it. If they're not turned into demonic monsters, then I don't see the problem.
You won't find better.
In fact, maybe we could even learn from them on how to deal with demon possession such that we don't have to destroy people who get messed up by it in their possession. Okay. Sure.
Warden, Rumours are flying about the break-in at the Nord Noble Tavern, and for some odd reason, no one feels too sorry for that milk cow, Lady Sophie.
Good.
In regards to our other business, your mark is still out there. Anything else you need?
You have any good
I
place
have
to
a big opportunity for you. 4 sovereigns.
Perhaps later.
I'll be here when you need me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's go deal with
craft.
Sonia and Scene.
Fine dwarven craft.
Hey, the wonders of Thedas. Arlene once bought me a miniature golem doll here. When
Shall be done.
Well, that's nice.
Really, yeah.
Just talk to the Tranquil Proprietor. Ah, we got books to read. Denerium. When anyone in Fereldan speaks of going to the city, they inevitably mean Denerium. There is no other place in the kingdom which rivals it, not in size, population, wealth, or importance. It is the seat of the Theron family, the capital of Fereldan, the largest seaport, and by ancient tradition, the meeting place of the Landsmeet. As well, Denerium was the birthplace of Andraste. One of them, anyway. Oh, yeah. As several other sites claim to have been the prophet's early home, of course, including Jadar and Orlais. Yeah, I bet. The Chantry takes no stance on which site's claim is valid, but it is well known that Andraste was Fereldan by birth. When visiting the pilgrimage site in Denerium, it is inadvisable to mention Jadar at all. I bet. The city rests at the foot of the Dragon's Peak, a solitary mountain scarred by ancient lava flows. During Andraste's lifetime, it presumably filled the sky with a great column of black ash and sent burning rock raining down as far away as the free marches. But it is now considered extinct. Some believe it merely sleeps, and will again darken the sky with ash and fire when the last Fereldan king dies. But this is highly unlikely. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, Brother Genitivi. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when I was talking to Sister Justini, I think it was, down by the Denerium Chantry. And she pointed out about all the frauds that were trying to pass off holy relics and stuff. And why? Oh, the geography of Thedas. Thedas is bounded in the east by the Amaranthine Ocean, to the west by Tirashine Forest and the Hunterhorn Mountains, to the south by the snowy wastes that lie beyond the Orkney Mountains, and to the north by Donark Forest. The word Thedas is Tevinter in origin, originally used to refer to lands that bordered the Imperium. As the Imperium lost its stranglehold and conquered nations, more and more lands became Thedas, until finally people applied the name to the entire continent. The northern part of Thedas is divided among Neanderthals, the Tevinter Imperium, Antiva, and Ravane, with the islands held by the Kunari just off the coast. Central Thedas consists of the free marches, Navarra and Orlais, with Fereldan to the south. What lies beyond the snowy waste is a mystery. The freezing temperatures and barren land have kept even the most intrepid cartographers at bay. Similarly, the western reaches of the Neanderthals have never been fully explored, even by the Anders themselves. We do not know if the dry steppes are shadowed by mountains, or if they extend all the way to a nameless sea. There must be other lands, continents or islands, perhaps across the Amaranthine, or north of Parvalan, for the Kunari arrived in Thedas from somewhere, but beyond that deduction we know nothing. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genitivi. I'd like to travel to a lot of those places with Leliana.
Where do you think they get all this stuff? You think they, have any miniature golem dolls?
Oh, Alistair. So I get it. You like little statues and stuff. Okay. You would like the golem dolls. Okay. History of the Chantry, Part 4. The History of the Chantry, Chapter 4. The crowds present at the death of Andraste were right to feel despair. It is believed that the prophet's execution angered the Maker, and he turned his back on humanity once more, leaving the people of Thedas to suffer in the dark. In these dark times, mankind scrambled for a light. Any light. Some found comfort in demonic cults that promised prayer and riches in return for worship. Others prayed to the old gods for forgiveness, begging the great dragons to return to the world. No thank you. Still others fell so low as to worship the darkspawn. Oh, that's despicable. Still, forming vile cults dedicated to the exaltation of evil in its purest form. It is said that the world wept as its people begged for a savior who would not come. Well, gee, Mr. Maker, maybe you should have saved your wife, Andraste. And now you're crapping on people for not doing anything. When you cast the darkspawn... oh, well. Andraste's followers, however, did not abandon her teachings when she died. The cult of Andraste rescued her sacred ashes from the courtyard in Memrathis. The cult of Andraste rescued her sacred ashes from the courtyard in Memrathis after her execution, stealing them away to a secret temple. The location of that temple has long been lost, but the ashes of Andraste served as a symbol of the enduring nature of the faith in the Maker, that humanity could earn the Maker's forgiveness, despite its grievous insult to him. With time, the cult of Andraste spread and grew, and the chant of light took form. Sing this chant in the four corners of Thedas, it was said, and the world would gain the Maker's attention at last. As the chant of light spread, the cult of Andraste became known as the Andrastian Chantry. Those who converted to the Chantry's beliefs found it their mission to spread Andraste's word. There were many converts, including powerful people in the Imperium and in the city-states of what is now Orlais. Such was the power of the Maker's word that the young King Drakon undertook a series of exalted marches meant to unite the city-states and create an empire solely dedicated to the Maker's will. The Orlesian Empire became the seat of the Chantry's power, the Grand Cathedral in Valrayo, the source of the movement that birthed the organized Chantry as we know it today. Drakon, by then Emperor Drakon I, created the Circle of Magi, the Order of Templars, and the Holy Office of the Divine. Many within the Chantry revere him nearly as equal with Andraste herself. The modern Chantry is a thing of faith and beauty, but it is also a house of necessity, protecting Thedas from powerful forces that would do it harm. Where the Grey Wardens protect the world from the Blights, the Chantry protects mankind from itself. Most of all, the Chantry works to earn the Maker's forgiveness, so that one day he will return and transform the world into the paradise it was always meant to be. From Tales of the Destruction of Thedas, by Brother Genetivi, Chantry Scholar. I still don't understand why he just didn't save his wife then, and why they all have to go through this agonizing drama and saga which means countless deaths and misery to people who had nothing to do with her death at all. And what? Gods. Religion is a strange thing.
This weather is miserable.
The Aeonair. When the Imperium occupied the area that is present-day Fereldan, they had two sites dedicated to magical experimentation at the extreme ends of the Imperial Highway. The southern one was the fortress of Ostagar, which looked out over the Kukari Wilds. The northern one was Aeonair, although the exact location is now a secret known only to a handful of Templars. Whatever it was that the Tevinter were trying to discover Aeonair, their work was never completed. The fortress was overrun by disciples of Andraste upon hearing the news of her death. According to legend, it was a massacre, eerily silent, for the invaders caught the mages while all but one of them were in the Fade. Ugh, that's wrong. You shouldn't have massacred them. They had nothing to do with it. The site was left structurally sound but spiritually damaged, I bet. Possibly because of this, the Chantry chose to put it to use as a prison. Accused Maleficarum and apostates are held in the confines of Aeonair. Those who have powerful connection to the Fade, and particularly to demons, will inevitably attract something all across the veil, making the guilty somewhat easier to tell from the innocent. Maybe. I get it, though. From of Fires, Circles, and Templars, A History of Magic in the Chantry, by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. Okay.
Ah, a peasant.
Thanks.
How delightful.
Oh, you're just as delightful as the dwarven nobles. Can I help you with anything, my lady?
You've kept me waiting long enough. The service here is terrible.
I know, I'm
How
sorry.
much for the tome on Orlesian heraldry?
10 sovereigns, my lady, but it's highway robbery.
You intrigue me. Explain yourself.
Until next shipment, our selection's poor. dresses, however. Leliana will help us with this.
Honesty in this hovel? My, aren't you a rare one?
Thank you, madam.
Fine. I'm willing to try on one of these dresses of yours.
Come on, Leliana, help me with this. Let's remove that and slip you in.
Careful now. The last thing I want are bruises from your clumsy fingers. I'm honestly surprised. This dress may do. Do you have it in purple?
Ah, yes, the Cloak of Emperors. Let me fetch something, just a moment.
Fine, but be snappy about it.
Oh, we'll be real snappy. Let's check something.
Welcome to the wonders of Thedas. We
Maybe
carry
we've got
items crafted by the Circle, as well as a variety of antiquities. Is there anything you would like to see?
Sorry for almost interrupting you, but I wonder if you've got one of them little Gollum dolls that Alistair had when he was a kid. That would be so cute to see him play with it now. Okay. That's a nice... We need to wait until we get more money. Yeah. Okay. Why not? That's good enough. I'm gonna go back and get...
Welcome to the wonders of Thedas. We carry items crafted by the Circle, as well as a variety of antiquities. Is there anything you would like to see?
Let me see your wares. I want to eventually get Winter's Breath. That would be good, excellent. An excellent staff.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts.
You're back, eh? Once Sir Nancy realizes she's robbed, I bet she'll be furious. That's delicious.
Yep.
Truly well done. You have time for another?
Sure. You have a mark for me?
I'm glad you asked. It'll cost you 3 sovereigns.
Okay. Tell me about it.
We're not stealing from a lass this time. We're stealing from Ban Derby. Master Tilver, the Ban silversmith, has been on holiday for the past couple of weeks, but he's in town for the day. All of his valuable, expensive goods are locked up tight, but he has the key. He's got 2 guards with him, not the cheap kind either. If you can get by them, you should be good. Luck to you, Warden.
Oh, okay. I need to start selling stuff. Getting some of my money back after all this investment.
Sorry, the alley's occupied.
I know Tilver from Darby's party. You remember, right?
Of course. Glad to see you again.
Sir Carol. Oh, we had a grand time.
Oh, definitely. Ban Derby does throw the best parties. But you see, this isn't an opportune time.
Those stolen moments in the cloakroom. The passion. Oh, yes. Oh.
What? I mean, oh, yes. It was lovely. But you really must go. We'll meet up later. Just not now.
That was fantastic. Fantastic. Ah, yes. The magnificent, the wonderful time I had with Master Tilva at Panduri's party at the classroom. The passion.
You're back, eh? No luck yet, eh? Keep trying.
I'll see you later.
Right you are.
Oh, yes. Okay. Here we go.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Okay.
Here I am. I'll do it.
Okay. Okay.
Dwarven
Okay.
crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar.
Alright.
You're back, eh? So you've struck again, eh? Ban Derby will be foaming at the mouth. I bet all of those rich louts will be afraid to go out. I'm not sure if I have anything else handy.
I'll see you later.
Right you are.
I'm gonna wait on the stealing for now. Oh, okay. Good. There we go. And I wonder. Oh, okay.
Magic exists to serve man and
And I'm gonna
never
just sell some stuff and see what I got for cash afterwards.
He came at me! It's not my fault! Why'd he come at me? Yeah, they got to learn not
Yeah,
to mess
right.
with me. Us, right? I mean, he's just going to disappear, right?
Yes, he will. Wow.
As there is
Okay.
one word. One
No way! Deals went bad in the market, the warehouse, and the pearl. Get rid of the bodies by dumping them somewhere in discreet in the market.
one day. There is
No way! You gotta be kidding me. You want me to dump bodies in front of a bunch of chantry priests and a temple guard at the chantry? This can't be real. This is as good a spot as any to dump a corpse. No, it's not. Just another bag of garbage flying out of the city. No, this is a terrible spot to dump a corpse. There's like 2 Templars, even if one of them is addled. Come on. Just like feet away from you, a couple yards away. There's this Justinia, who's a chantry priest, right by me. We're surrounded by religious people. Gee, why are you dumping that big human-sized bag into our water, our well? Come on, this is insane. This is ridiculous. This is so unprofessional. We would never do anything like that. Even though we have lava and you don't. This is ridiculous. No way. You find a sewer or something, or an outhouse. This is nonsense. Or a river. You're not going to do it right in front of the chantry out of their drinking well. Fine. Fine. Dump the bag. Yeah, I'm sure it's that easy to dump a huge body. Come on. Right in front of all these Templars, right in front of the chantry priests. Well, gee, yeah, sure. This is so unprofessional. Speaking as someone who worked for Barat, seeming as someone who was a knee breaker, who was an arm twister, this is ridiculous. Who played in heavy, this is ridiculous. Let's talk to Sister Justine.
Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright.
A philosopher.
Oh, my pardon. Just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's Board?
Oh, no, I just wanted to talk. It's nice to talk to someone who's kind of a philosopher. How did you know?
Well-armed individuals that visit the rectory tend to be here for that.
Chanter Rosamond is tireless and resolute in her duties. I'm sure you can find something of interest on her board.
Well, you're observant and perceptive. I like that. I really like you. Who are you?
I am Sister Justine, curator of the reliquary of this chantry. Pride again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste.
Oh, I like you. What's a curator do?
The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics.
Interesting.
I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds.
Probably because there's a ton of fakes, I bet. People are selling holy relics on the streets.
Oh, I've heard them too. A hawker on the street will claim to have an actual finger bone of Andraste. In this city alone, you could make the skeleton of 10 prophets from fingers alone.
I wonder where those fingers came from originally.
Curators often accept them as genuine. I worry about the authenticity of even our most holy artifacts.
Why do the other curators fall for it? I have an idea. I think they fall for it because they want to believe. And they want something real and tangible and concrete that demonstrates and validates their belief and that shows that it's true. There's the desire to want to believe.
I've often thought of that. When I was a curator of a much smaller chantry in Orlais, I thought that false relics slipped through because of laziness. But the life of the cloth is never an easy one, and that explanation always seemed hollow to me. Now I believe it's the seduction of the divine. We all want a personal connection to the Maker. We want to believe that what we hold in our hands is the actual sandal that slipped from Andraste's foot before the fires consumed her. Faith is of the heart, not of the head. When the heart is ungoverned by reason, charlatans have powerful tools to deceive.
That's why you call them confidence men. That's confidence men. Scammers. Confidence men. Build up your confidence so that you go along with them. They don't tear you down. They don't rip you up. They beef you up. They exaggerate you. They build up your confidence in something false. That's why they're called con men. I really like talking to her, and I do like her. I mean, there's so many bad things about the Chantry, but then there's also good things about the Chantry, and I really like this person. And I like her approach. Balancing faith and reason is difficult, though. She has a philosophical approach. Let's see how she reacts to this. This will be interesting.
And often close to heretical. But I believe that the truth only increases the awe of the Maker and his prophet, not demean it. Even false symbols have the power to inspire. But it seems every year we fall more out of touch with the real Andraste.
I don't really buy much into religion, but I could see how that's true. And I'm glad that you are focused on the truth. Of course, what happens if the truth doesn't match up with what you believe? If Mr. Maker isn't real? But that's okay. How many real relics have you found?
Well, there's one that might be real. I couldn't prove it wasn't.
Oh.
Perhaps you can understand my skepticism. So many claims, so few truths.
Even though you couldn't rule it out, though, that doesn't really establish that it is. It means that it's in dispute. Yeah, because it can be. Even though you can't rule it out, you don't know that it is. So that's not enough. Do you think the urn of sacred ashes is real? Everyone keeps talking about this in the background, so let's get into it.
Certainly. My research indicates that all of the ashes were gathered into a pot or urn, but it's been lost for centuries. That doesn't stop hawkers from selling pinches of the ashes of Andraste to gullible pilgrims. The real ashes may still be hidden somewhere, though it's possible the urn broke.
Interesting. Could you tell me about your job?
You've shown admirable patience listening to my diatribe before.
I find it interesting.
I will not bore you again. Suffice it to say, I look for and authenticate holy relics for the Chantry.
Okay. I've got to go. Farewell.
Of course. Enjoy your visit to the Chantry.
Of course. I'm going to go to camp for a moment.
One world, one life, one
And sell some stuff. now I want to go to the camp and sell some stuff.
Are you sure I can't interest
Nope.
you in this hat? A pair of earrings?
No, thank you.
A cheese knife?
I don't need one. I've already got a dagger. Let me see your wares, Bodan.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
I wonder. Yeah, I'll sell it. Sell a carpet, chalice, engraved silver bow, semi-unseen sword, pouch of gems, greenstone, quartz. Okay. Now we don't need the injury kit. Okay, I've got an idea.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
I want us to sell that. He's already got one. Okay. Alright. Sell the last bits of this.
Something you need? I'm sure either my boy or I can help you out.
Sure, let me see where's Bodan.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. The shale. Okay. 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 I want to wait on that backpack.